question during the lesson. Any number that can be written as the quotient of two integers is called a rational number. A rational number can be written in the form a divided by b or negative a divided by b, where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. What is an example of a number that is in the form a divided by b or negative a divided by b? An example is 3/5 or negative 8/9. For a rational number a divided by b, why is b not equal to 0? The fraction a over b means a divided by b, and division by 0 is not defined. A rational number can be a whole number, a fraction, or decimal. Why is a whole number also a rational number? Any whole number is a rational number because it can be written as a fraction with a denominator of 1. Find and position negative 4/3 and negative 1.5 on the number lines.
You can plot numbers on horizontal or vertical number lines.
There is one way. Use a horizontal number line to plot negative 4/3. You can think of negative 4/3 as a mixed number. How can you write negative 4/3 as a mixed number?
Select your answer.
Four-thirds as a mixed number.
Select your answer.
Negative 4/3 is equal to negative 1 1/3. Divide the units on the number line into thirds and find 1 1/3 to the left of 0. Plot the point negative 4/3. Here is another way. Use a vertical number line to plot negative 1 5/10. You can think of negative 1 5/10 as a mixed number. Negative 1 5/10 is equal to negative 1 5/10, or negative 1 1/2. Divide the units on the number line into halves and find 1 1/2 below 0. Plot the point negative 1 5/10. Rational numbers are associated with unique points on a number line. Each unique point can be written as either a fraction or as a decimal. Equivalent fractions and decimals are different ways of writing the same number. How can you plot negative 1 75/100 on a horizontal number line? How can you plot negative 5/4 on a vertical number line? Write negative 1 75/100 and negative 5/4 as mixed numbers. Then plot each point on its number line.
So it asks us to make them a mixed number. So negative 1 75/100. Let's start with that one. So that 1 is a negative whole number. So that is the whole number. Then we have 75/100. And it's hundreds because that last digit is in the hundreds place. So we just simply put 75 over 100. And then we have to simplify this 75 over 100. We can divide by the greatest common factor. I'm thinking it would be 25. So then, let's see, 25 can go into 75 3 times, and then 100 divided by 25 would be 4. So we have negative 1 and 3/4. Okay, and so this would be negative 1 and 3/4, and then we have negative 5/4. You take your denominator, divide it into your numerator, and 4 can go into 5 once. Subtract, and then the 1 becomes your whole number, and then 1 over, and our denominator stays the same. So, and it's negative. So we have negative 1 and 4. So now let's graph both of those on, or plot them on the number line. So we'll do this one on this number line. So we have negative 1 and 3/4. So negative 1 and 3/4, let's separate this into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. And so we have 1 whole, and then 3, 1, 2, 3 of the 4. So this would be, and I should do that in a different color. This would be our point here. And then for negative 1 and 1/4, we'll use this number line. I'll use a different color. We have again negative 1 and 1/4 will be going this direction. So we have to separate once again in 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3 lines will give us 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So we have negative 1 and 1/4 would be here. That's 1 of the 4 parts, and that is it.
Part A. Haru was asked to compare and order 3 rational numbers. Show how he can use less than, greater than, or equals to compare 2/3, 7/4, and negative 3/4. Then order these numbers from least to greatest.
Click on each point to reveal the answer. Negative 3/4 is a negative number, so it will be the farthest to the left of the number line. 2/3 is between 0 and 1. 7/4 is between 1 and 2. So it asks us to order them from least to greatest. Negative 3/4 is less than 2/3, and 2/3 is less than 7/4.
Part B. If 1/4 is ordered within the list of numbers, negative 3/4, 2/3, and 7/4, between which 2 numbers would it be placed?
The number 1/4 is positive, but less than 2/3, so it would be placed between the negative 3/4 and 2/3.
Compare and order 2/3, negative 6/10, and negative 6 and 6/10 from least to greatest.
0.66, negative 0.6, and negative 6.6. So I always like to draw a number line. So we have a number line. Let's put our 0 in the center. Our negative numbers will be on the left, and our positive numbers will be to the right. So here is 0, and so negative 0 and 6/10, and negative 6 and 6 will be on the left hand side. So let's make some tick marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do 7 since our whole number here is a 6. We at least need to go to 7. So let's write in the numbers. These are all negative. Negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. And we'll do the same on this side. Okay. Now, negative 6 and 6 will be the first one I will graph here. And so negative 6 and 6/10 will be between the negative 6 and negative 7. And it will be closer to the negative 7. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to place it. Negative 0 and 6/10 would be between 0 and negative 1 because it's not quite a whole number. As you can see, 0 is in front of that decimal. So it would be close to being a whole number. So it'll be somewhere, I'm going to put it closer to this side, over there. So this is our negative 0 and 6. This is negative 6, 6. And then we have positive 0 and 66/100, which would be between 0 and 1 on the positive side because it's not quite a whole number because it's a 0, but it is close to being a whole number. So we will have that be somewhere right in there, and that's going to be our negative 0.66. So it says to compare and order them from least to greatest. So we've compared them. Now we need to order them from least to greatest. So remember, the least is going to be our numbers farthest to the left, and our greatest will be the numbers farthest to the right. So negative 6.6 is going to be our least, then negative 0 and 6/10, and finally 0 and 66/100.
Sam and Rashida are scuba diving. Use less than, greater than, or equals to compare the two depths and explain their relationship.
So as you can see here, here's Sam at negative 25 feet, and Rashida is at negative 40 feet. Negative 40 is less than negative 25, so Rashida is at a greater depth than Sam. She is deeper down in the water than he is.
At 10 p.m. one winter night, the temperature was negative 3 degrees Celsius. At midnight, the temperature was negative 7 degrees Celsius. Use less than, greater than, or equal to compare the two temperatures and explain their relationship.
Okay, so we have negative 3 was the temperature at one point, and then negative 7 degrees is the temperature at midnight. So again, at that number line, if we draw a quick number line, we'll put 0 here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. -3 is here. And -7 is here. And so -3 would be greater, because it's closer to 0, than -7. And I just explained the relationship by drawing the number line so that you can see why -3 is greater than -7.